Hi everyone, welcome to yet another episode of the Career Cruise podcast. Thank you so much for hanging with me until now. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for believing in our messaging here. Thank you for, coming back over and over again. If it is your first time here, welcome. And make this your number one place to be. Subscribe so that you can get the notifications when the episodes are out. Go back and watch the other episodes as well and make comments on them. Let us hear what you think. Let us hear what you'd want to hear more of. My name is Violette Wambua, and hang with me today as we discuss soft skills. Now, what are soft skills? Soft skills are, let me read a good definition so then I'm not misleading you. Soft skills are personal attributes and interpersonal skills that determine how well you work or interact with other people. Unlike hard skills, soft skills are not trainable. Like you don't get it's not like coding or driving or whatever you learned at school, that you're able to put A and B here and get that as results, so soft skills are more about, the interactive part of your life, okay? And they're still very, very important. They're so crucial for your career success, for your success in the business that you're doing, for success in the brand that you're building. Remember, we talked about personal branding. Soft skills really, really go a long way in helping you succeed at anything you put your mind into. Even if it's building a house, I know putting the bricks together up on top of another, that's a hard skill. But then now putting a team together, working hand in hand with others to make your whole plaza go up, it requires a high degree of soft skills, the patience, the listening skills and all that. So we're going to talk about soft skills in today's episode. So chill with me and also be commenting what soft skills you have that you're good at. Let me share some key soft skills and how they can be applied. Number one, communication. That's a very important soft skill, okay? And communication is about sharing information and even receiving information. How you share, how you receive, the exchange of information and the tones and the cues that flows along with that, okay? There's obviously verbal communication, like what I'm doing here, talk. And then there's a non-verbal communication where you're looking at facial expressions. There are people who say, before I say something, my face has already said it. Maybe they have a scowl or they have a surprised look or, there's just something that is happening on their faces that communicates something to the person that they are with or the people they are with or the people they are addressing. And then, of course, there's written communication. So, being able to write proper emails, proper memos, do good reports is part of soft skills. And that's part of communication, which is one of the major or other key soft skills to have. The other soft skill that is very important is teamwork and collaboration. I know we talk about teamwork all the time, but working with other people is not the same as working with other people properly or working with other people well. We are different, and when you put on a team together, there's some of us who are slow to understand things. Others are chap, they get things quickly. How you process an instruction is not how the other person will process it, yet we have a goal to achieve, all of us. So just being able to work together, to collaborate, to help each other, to help those who are lagging behind, to sort of like support the ones who are taking us there quickly so that we can get there even faster. So that whole teamwork, that whole collaboration, appreciating each other's strengths, appreciating each other's weaknesses, and then feeling, so you fill the gap. If your team member is weak in this area, you're able to stand in that gap while they stand in yours as well. So part of the teamwork and collaboration does not involve lazing around or lagging behind or sabotaging your team members. So yes, you may not be good at everything, but the thing you're good at, please make sure you're putting your all in it so that the team shines, that your work can go on together. And then you also just support each other even mentally, do research that could help the project go along, and I'm saying this I'm thinking about a project. That's where proper collaboration and teamwork will come in. Think about your teamwork at school, your group studies, your group projects, the things that you have to do presentations on as a team, all that. For you to be successful, for you to get good marks and good grades, you need to be properly collaborative, so those are things that are important as part of soft skills. The other soft skill that is very important, and especially in today's world, because so much is changing, you need to be adaptable, you need to be flexible. And adaptability and flexible, they are they're almost interchangeable. But basically, adaptability means that if a change happens, you don't strike out. You're able to just adjust your approach given all these new changes, so then you'll still achieve your goals. Being flexible would mean that yes, you have a goal to achieve. So what you do, you take on a new strategy so that then you still achieve that. So they're almost the same, but they're very, very important it's very important to be adaptable and to be flexible. Adaptable to new ideas, be flexible in how to adopt new strategies. So there's a plan, there's where we are going, but then things are happening and we need to sort of like shift and turn in between, so then we can make it to the end of our journey. So being able to adopt new ways of doing things is flexible. I mean, we're not asking you to drop your morals or lose your integrity, but you need to be just a bit flexible. So then it's such an important soft skill to have. And then the other thing that it's important to have, and this is for everyone, it doesn't matter what level of career, you could even still be a student. It doesn't matter how old you are. In fact, I find that I have observed this soft skill with children, small children, all the way to old people. Problem solving skills. This one no one can teach you. It's very innate. So you find that a child comes across an obstacle, maybe you put a thing so that they don't cross to their other room or something, and they find a way, whether they try to climb over it, try to go under it, try to go on the side. That having that approach that I'm able to solve any problem, your mind is not limited when you encounter a challenge. The first thing you do is try and solve the problem and solve it creatively, solve it in the way that works for you. It's so important, because then it means that you're not limited by problems in this life. You're not stunted when something happens, and you're not stuck or held back. You're able to push your way through problems because you're able to solve them. And this could even be problems in between people, because maybe there are people that you're working with, they have problems, and you know that if they continue having that problem, they're affecting your progress. So help them to solve their problems and you all get to where you're going. Remember, you have a goal. Okay. The other thing that I've seen to be very important is critical thinking. Of course, it's good to share ideas and share values and share objectives as a group, and even you could hold the same objectives that other people in the collective hold, and that's okay. But many a times you'll be called upon, rather situations will call upon for you to think critically, hold your own critical thought, have your own theory of change, so you're able to analyze facts and data to make a judgment for yourself. Don't just go with, this is how it's always done, so being able to analyze that for yourself, see this is the information I have at hand. So what can I do with this? So then I make a reasonable judgment, proper judgment of a situation. And of course, this comes with decision making. So critical thinking and decision making, they work together. So when you have critical thinking happening, you'll definitely be able to be decisive and make a move and, make judgment, make a decision, keep it moving. So then you're not constantly caught up when something happens and you freeze until someone comes to decide for you. It's important that you're able to make, if there's a problem with your house, you're able to make a decision and say, can I move now? And if I can't move now, what can I do in the meantime to fix this situation so that I'm more comfortable? This one cannot be talked about enough, but I also know that we hardly talk about it. Time management. There are courses on their own. If you Google search it, you'll find the whole time management courses happening. being able to do the best with the time presented to you, the time available to you for best outcomes. Like, it's such a gift, and it's such a talent, and it's such a good skill to have. This can be developed over time. You remember how when you're in primary school, the bell used to help us to manage our times, okay? So you knew, math lesson is over. Oh, the period for PE is over. Oh, the day is over, something. Now, after school, or rather that kind of bell system is over, now you have to wear your watch, okay? And that becomes a time manager. You have to have a schedule, things like that. You have to know, okay, there's maybe traffic on these particular days or on this particular route. So when you're planning your trip, you plan it with more than an hour in advance, to sort of like to manage that, to mitigate that. So there's so many things about time. Even watching TV, you have to be like, no, you have to say no to that one more episode, because now binge watching will kill your time for sleeping, and you're trying to make good decisions for your health even. So it's not always just about work, but even in terms of entertainment, like, I need to be out of here by 9 p.m. so I can go home, or I'm only going to go to this place or this party for 2 hours, and after that I'm done. I mean, I know I struggle with that because fun must be had, but it's important to not just let yourself go when it comes to a lot of us can be serious when it comes to work and business and these professional situations, but then in the social situations, then we lose that. And I feel like it's important to wear it, not to be a wet blanket or a party pooper, but it's for yourself. It's not for others. Don't try to tell others what to do with their time. It's for yourself. Just keep it within yourself and say, 9:30 I'm out of here, or whatever happens, 9 p.m. I need to be in bed. So so once you operate like that, then you manage yourself and you keep on practicing until the muscle is very, very strong within you. Leadership skills are soft skills. You might be guided on how to be a better leader. You might be guided on how to hone the innate sense of leadership that you came into this world with, or that you might be helped to fit into a leadership position, and that's okay. But it's such an important soft skill to have all the same. It helps you to reach your goals. You're even able to encourage others to reach their goals as well. You're able to delegate tasks so that you're not dying with all the work in the world, and all the burden of the world is not resting on your shoulder. Maybe it has been put on your shoulder, but then now you delegate, give others, so then you are able to walk lighter, you're able to pack lighter. So yeah, embrace leadership skills as something to have in terms of soft skills. Again, this is not taught on a blackboard somewhere. It's not like coding or engineering, but it's important to pick up because one, you lead yourself, and then you can also lead others towards positive outcomes. Emotional intelligence. People don't like hearing about emotions. They say when people talk about emotions, people just imagine it's for crying, it's for being sad. No, even happiness is an emotion. The joy, the thrill is an emotion. Anger is an emotion. So how then do you manage all this? That's part of emotional intelligence. Sometimes think about for those who gamble, maybe you put out some odds and then the odds are now in your favor, and the people around you, there's a tanking. Of course you're happy, but you're going to start celebrating. Yes, I've got it. Maybe, I don't know, what do they say on this betting? I don't want to name any, but I saw a guy like rejoicing, and I saw just a small video on TikTok. Everybody around him was having terrible odds and they're all losing. And then he won 280,000. And of course it's a random weekend. He was so happy. He was unable to contain his happiness. So as a result, he ended up being coerced into withdrawing that money and sharing with all his friends who are losers. And I think he should have managed his happiness a bit better. I told you to manage your anger. I think in that moment, he should have managed his happiness until he goes home. I think there's a song by, is it Kenny Rogers? If I'm not wrong, correct me. It says, don't count all your pennies until you get home. I think like when you're gambling and you win, like go count your money away from that table. That's what I got from that song. So I think emotional intelligence is for you to be able to regulate yourself, regulate your feelings and just, calm yourself no matter the situation, whether you're happy, whether you're sad. Calm yourself so then you're able to express yourself better in a safe situation. You're able to shout yes in the comfort of your bedroom, safety at home, and nobody has to know that you won millions or something. It comes with self-awareness, recognizing your environment, recognizing your own emotions, and just knowing this is not the time and place. You don't lash out at your boss at work unless you're willing to lose a job there and then, and maybe they've pissed you off, You don't get into fights with just anybody just because they've made you angry. A lot could come out of that. So it's just that whole regulation. First, you're aware that what you're feeling, then aware of your surrounding and aware of yourself, your abilities or lack thereof. So, your options or lack thereof. So it all boils together to form the whole emotional intelligence range. I've seen courses on emotional intelligence and how to manage yourself. Emotional intelligence is what will also help you speak to clients in a better way. Maybe your client is frustrated and you're able to sort of like calm them or just guide them through whatever frustration they're going in. And sometimes this client is not even frustrated about the product, just that now the product is an easy target as a point of releasing their frustration. Maybe they're frustrated about many other things that have nothing to do with you or nothing to do with the product, and because you have high emotional intelligence quotient, you're able to first of all manage yourself, and instead of saying these clients give me stress, no, you're able to just manage yourself and then manage them, and then everybody's a winner, at the end of it all. I feel like with more emotional intelligence, there'd be less wars in the world, just saying. So networking is also part of soft skills, the array of soft skills. This is basically comes from building strong relationships, good relationships, relevant relationships, and also just effectively communicating within that network that you've built over time. So that's something to also consider embracing and espousing as a soft skill for yourself. It will really take you far, like just knowing how to network and maintain your network, cultivate your networks. It really take you far. I may have mentioned this earlier, but when I was talking about emotional intelligence, but it's also a point on its own. Conflict resolution, how you're able to solve conflicts between yourself and other people, or between other people that maybe are in your team, even your own internal conflict. Just being able to do conflict resolution is so important, because then you're building goodwill. You are able to cut down the time that it takes to get work done. You're able to cut down the time that it takes to turn a profit if you're running a business, because then if there are any, and conflicts will always happen, so we can't run away from conflicts. Sometimes in the name of keeping the peace, you're actually promoting conflict instead of addressing a problem and getting it out of the way. So just knowing what to do, when to do, how to do it is such an important aspect of conflict resolution, and it is very profitable, and not just money wise, but even in terms of relationships, in terms of your own peace of mind and wellness as well. So, and even for other people around you. I think I've mentioned this before in previous episodes. Work ethic. Having a good work ethic is an important soft skill to have, and even a life skill to have. For people to just know this person is reliable. When they're supposed to do ABCD, that's what they'll do. If they're not able to do it, they'll communicate. Or, they're always goal-oriented and, result-oriented. They have their nose in the right direction, so that one also goes with integrity, like you're trustworthy, no matter the situation. Of course, social skills, interpersonal skills, having respect for others, being able to tolerate others, even when they have ideas that are so far away from what you know about life. So just being able to, you're not accepting all ideas that are brought to you, and that's okay, because you need to have your own theory of, you need to hold your own critical thoughts. So you might not embrace every idea, but are able to tolerate it. Tolerate other people's opinions and views without necessarily getting into fights with them. You don't have to be, oh, you can't say that. No. Just tolerance and respect. Respect people's diets, respect people's cultures and faiths, respect people's backgrounds, and, just understand why they think, how they're thinking, and all that. So it's part of soft skills. Being your own cheerleader is an important soft skill to have. I think I mentioned it before when I said being your own strict mom or being your own prefect. But yeah, being your own cheerleader, part of self-motivation. Motivate yourself to doing good. Motivate yourself to achieving goals, attaining objectives that you set for yourself. There's one of my very good friends. She has such good self-motivation skills. I keep telling her, oh my God, I want that. And I mean, I'm a good motivator of myself, but for me, I think I need more and more. For her, once she's decided this is what I'm going to do, she somehow has a juice to keep it going until. And I've seen her buying land, I've seen her buying houses, I've seen her starting courses and finishing, I've seen her switching careers, because she's a very good self-motivator. And I think we all should get into that thinking of just motivating ourselves instead of looking for motivation from our friends, motivation from the pastor, motivation from your mentor. Some of these things, it's an inside job. And so I've observed that happening with one of my friends. And I just told her this year, I think I'll have to really, really get into self-motivation so then I can go further. I'm not just waiting for external pat on the back to keep going. The art of negotiation and persuasion. Guys, have you ever been caught by cops in Kenya? That's when you know whether your negotiation skills are working or not, or even are they even present, So learning to negotiate, learning to persuade others, to win them over to your side, okay? It doesn't have to be anything crazy that you're doing. You keep practicing. I think children are such good negotiators and persuaders of others, and then we beat that out of them. And I think a lot of us lost our negotiation skills because they were beaten out of us, sadly. But kids are always like, one more, I want more time, one more story, one more water, something. They're always, negotiating and, okay, I'm going to do that, but then now, can you give me this? They're always in a give and take sort of mindset, and I really admire that from about them. And I should really learn more from them, especially my own. So just convincing others to understand you and to even not necessarily agree, but to understand your viewpoint. That's such a big step. And of course, now finding ways to compromise with other people. So then you're not just making people come to your side, but you're also willing to lean over to their side. And then you all come to a nice common ground. Being able to, imagine the conflicts that could be resolved if we could all just be able to negotiate and persuade each other more and more often, For those who are working customer-facing jobs, for business owners, customer service is just, it's an non-negotiable as a soft skill. So being able to handle your customers properly, of course, that comes with empathy, awareness, good communication, but it's still a whole topic, not even a point on its own, but a whole topic on its own. Customer service is not about that week in October where we are celebrating our customers and our viewers, our subscribers, our adopters. No. Customer service should be done every day. It's a business strategy. It's a career strategy. It's a personal strategy even. Like everybody should be thinking about their audiences, because customer service, audience service, same. And especially if you're building a brand like we talked about in an earlier episode. Creativity is important. I mean, not all of us are creatives, but for me, I really admire creatives because they're able to come up with something from nothing. Like, they see blank canvases and they're excited. They see a blank day, they're excited. I don't even know, like, how do they operate? We need more. I would need to tap into their juice. Being creative is not just about the arts, but being creative in terms of even being resourceful with whatever you have, you're able to do. One other important soft skill to have is creativity. Creatives literally, they get charged by seeing blank canvases. they get charged by seeing a new day, they get charged by seeing open spaces. It's like they're able to bring ideas from nothing to something, and a lot of times it's super huge. However, creativity as a soft skill is not just about drawing and making fashionable art pieces or making exciting, impressions artistically. It's also about being resourceful, like doing the best with what is in your hands, making the most of your time, doing presentations that are exciting, finding ways to infuse life into the work that you're doing, just having an open mind, being open and receptive to new ideas and new perspectives. It adds to your creativity, or rather your ability to be creative. And also, something that I know I'm good at is coming up with original ideas and solutions. That's part of creativity as a soft skill. Just as a parting shot, because there's so many other soft skills I could have mentioned, but I feel like that's enough for this episode. I know you'll share with me more soft skills that I may or may not have mentioned. Soft skills are essential, and they're not just essential because they're nice to have. They're essential because they complement the hard skills. If you're an engineer, you know how to build roads, you know how to make buildings stand and bridges and what have you. But without soft skills, you're not able to communicate your ideas, you're not able to communicate your solutions, you're not able to find a workaround to make things happen. And if all you know how to do is use a hammer for every problem you come across, you'll be able to appreciate that, hey, this problem we're not dealing with it with a hammer, we can deal with it by using a saw, for example. So the hard skills are important. We cannot throw them away or cast them aside. But now the soft skills come to make the work even easier, shorten the length of time that progress should have been achieved. You start a road project, and because of soft skills, maybe you told the client, give me 18 months. Please, in 9 months, you're done. Why? Because you incorporated soft skills to boost your hard skills, So they just enhance work performance, facilitate meaningful interaction. So then, yes, the people say, I'm just here to do my job and go home. That shows lack of soft skills, in my opinion. Because, yes, you go to work, you do your work, and you can go home. But because you have soft skills, you're able to network and find out who are these people that I work with. You're able to negotiate and persuade others that you get your work done quickly. You're able to lead others. You're able to engage them in collaborative efforts, So then it's not just about you doing your work. That's very me. But you're able to actually work with others well. That even after the work is done, yes, we'll go home, the work is done. You even get another job, hopefully. But then you're able to have networked properly and gotten good connections. I'm not saying be best friends with everybody. Not everyone is your BFF, but can they vouch for you? Have you worked well with them? Have you been a good negotiator? Have you been practicing good communication? Are you a good listener? Things like that. So the goodness with these soft skills, you're not born with them. They can be transferable. So, people, there's a lot of monkey see, monkey do when it comes to transferring soft skills. And then there are also trainings and courses available, some for free, others are paid for. But yeah, stretch yourself, find where these courses are being done, where the information is being transferred. And yeah, get yourself some soft skills that will help you build your career, build your business, and build your personal brand. Thank you for chilling with me as we spoke about these soft skills. I know patience is a soft skill, so kudos to you for having patience to sit to the end of the episode. And I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself.